Welcome to this Killik Explains finance video. This week, a rather dramatic title, but I want to explain quite a big problem, why it happens and how you can get around it. So investing's biggest tragedy is what? It is, in a nutshell, this. Compounding has been described as the eighth wonder of the world. No one's quite sure by whom, probably not Einstein, doesn't matter. It is nonetheless an enormously powerful free lunch. One of the only free lunches in investing, all right? And the problem is many people don't capitalize it. Now they say it didn't work for me or I didn't get what I expected. And I think there are three reasons for that. So why are more people not benefiting from what can be a terrific opportunity? So I think there are three reasons. One, we are quite linear thinkers. You might be thinking, well, I'm not. I'll try and demonstrate what I mean in a moment. Two, we're terrible at taking a long-term view. In a social media age where our attention spans have been compressed to seconds or microseconds, this requires a long-term approach and we're not very good at it. Three, we don't appreciate exactly how the maths works. And the maths works in this way. You get a lot of your total return towards the end. And that needs to be understood. So, with that in mind, here we go. Linear thinking. What do I mean by linear thinking? We are quite linear thinkers. What I mean by that is this. If I say to you, back of an envelope, here's a 5% return, purely for illustration, not guaranteed, usual caveat, annually on £1,000, what return profile can you expect? Now, a lot of people will just go, well, that's easy. 5% of £1,000 is £50. You're offering me the chance to do that 5 times over 5 years. So thank you very much. £250 in total, or £1,250 at the end. Close, but not close enough. Because actually, you've forgotten something fairly crucial, which is that you start earning interest at 5% on every dollop of interest once you've banked the first one. So, over on the right-hand side, in year one, yes, you get £50, ignoring charges, so you got £1,050. But in year two, that £50 can start earning at 5% as well as the original 1,000, which pushes you up a little bit to 1,102.50 there. And if you keep going, keep trucking, by the end of year 5 on that basis, with the incremental £50 all busy earning interest at 5%, you'll have accumulated £1,276.28, which is a compound return of 27.6%. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not that exciting, that compared to that, you know, take it or leave it, but actually here's the point. 5 years is a short time horizon in compounding terms, and 5% isn't massive in the context of what you can sometimes earn, not guaranteed in, say, stocks and shares. So that gap widens as you extend the time period and boost the rate. Now then, how can that add up over time? Well, here's a chart some of you may have seen before, but let's assume this time we're doing £300 a month over 25 years. So we're investing quite a bit more and we're doing it over longer. Now, I won't talk all the way through every component of this chart, but essentially the green blobs are the total amount invested over 25 years, so £300 times 12 times 25. The pink, now let's assume you did this in some sort of tax-effective wrapper, like an ISA, so that basically you're earning tax-free returns, all right, before charges, but tax-free returns. If we were to take this middle column as purely an illustration, nothing more than that, 5% growth is what I started with, so I'll carry on if you like. The pink represents the chunk of, for want of a better expression, free money compared to someone who stuck it under the mattress and did nothing for 25 years. All right? So that is your potential tax-free return. And the number, £179,000, doesn't mean a lot to most people, but the size of that pink blob should, because it is basically the same size as the one underneath it. All right? And that is almost money for nothing. That's what I mean by a free lunch. So, staying the course. This is really important. In order to bank these returns, you've got to stay invested. So let's say you invest £1,000 over 25 years with that return rate, illustrative, not guaranteed, of 5%. When do you earn most of your returns? Because people think, well, that's easy, you just keep clocking up the same level of returns every year for 25. No, this is the point about compound returns. The last 5 years are vital. And if you cash in before those last 5 years, you miss out on a lot of your total return. Now, if you're not sure about that, here's the proof. So starting with a base of £1,000 invested, by year 20, so let's wind forward, so you're earning 5%, 5%, 5%, wind forward, you'll have around £2,653, okay, except the maths is correct from me here. Now go forward another 5 years, staying invested on that basis, you'll have clocked up £3,386 for a difference of 733. That's those two numbers compared. So what? The point is this, that is 31% of your total return. And the higher the rate, and longer the period, if you went for 40 years, for example, let's say 8%, that gap becomes bigger, the amount becomes bigger too. So you can see it's crucial you don't cash in early, because actually the way compounding works is a disproportionate share of your total returns come towards the end. Now, does that apply over a much longer investment period, being a regular investor, for example, rather than just dropping a lump sum in? Yes, it does. So going back to these facts, £300 per month, 25 years. I was just taking a look at that middle column. But if we were to break this down and say, well, actually, where are the returns generated, you'll see a similar sort of pattern. So what do I mean by that? I mean this. So there is the scenario, just spelt out again, £300 a month, 25 years. 5%, mathematically, just over the whole period, if you like. When do you earn most of your returns? Well, again, the answer is going to be towards the end. Now, take the maths from me, if you like. No need to sort of squint at it, but essentially, let's say, where will you be at the end of year 20? The answer is bigger sums this time, 123,823. By the end of year 25, you've jumped up to 179,397, let's say, which means, once again, the last 5 years have generated 31% of your total return. So again, bailing out would be expensive and would leave you disappointed in terms of what you'd accumulated over a fairly long period. So, 3 takeaways, pretty obvious. Harnessing the power of each pound is a way of saying making the most of compounding, squeezing that lemon if you like. Requires you not to be fooled by linear thinking, so understand how it works. Number 2, think long term, all right? We are terrible short-termists. Thinking long term is not intuitive anymore. And keep at it. Don't cash in early. Get your cash flow forecast sorted, get your rainy day fund sorted and all that good stuff so you can keep whatever this is running for the full course. Any questions on the maths editor at killik.com and videos that just put this into some context, go to killik.com/learn, and a good place to start would be either the shares or the tax effective savings tabs.